Light Middleweight Championship. It's between England's Andy Till and the Welshman John Davies. A good match-up this on paper between two heavy punchers who also have the ability to take one. Till stopped Terry McGee in his last fight. McGee comes from the same Welsh village of Ammanford as tonight's opponent. Till, known in the game as Stoneface, is seeking a repeat performance, this time against Davies. As for Davies, well, he's recovered from a spell of inactivity to put himself in contention for this title, and he's the current Welsh welterweight champion.
Oh, what a beautiful little combination there. A left to the side of the chin, a short right. I think Mortimer shouldn't have got up as he did. Took a count of 3. He should really have stayed there for some time. He's badly hurt.
So welcome to the Dudley Town Hall for this fight, and let's now find out the significance of the WBC International Championship by asking our expert, Jim Watt. What's it all about, Jim?
Well, when the title was first formed, there wasn't an agreement with it. I thought there was enough confusion in professional boxing, but the idea is boxers rated from 11 up to 30. If they win this championship, then it can give them the chance to box for the world title. It gives them a rating in the top 10. So it's a shortcut to a world title, and some British boxers have made full advantage of that, and actually one has become a world champion, so we can't fault it now. It seems to be established, so now that I'm used to it, I don't mind it quite so much.
So a big chance for one of these lads. Who's going to be the winner of this vacant title?
Now this is a very close match tonight, because we have two winning boxers. We don't have one who's maybe gone up and down. I think it's very close indeed. The 12-round distance might suit Till slightly better. But I don't really have a favourite. I'm looking forward to the battle, maybe slightly Till because of the 12 rounds. But as I say, I'm sitting firmly on the fence here, looking forward to this one.
So let's find out what happens. It's scheduled for 12 rounds. It's the vacant WBC International Light Middleweight Championship between Andy Till and John Davies. Our regular Fight Night commentary team is, of course, Jim Watt and Reg Gutteridge. But first of all, as usual, our master of ceremonies is Vince Miller.
Gentlemen, please, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing at 3 minutes each round for the vacant WBC International Light Middleweight Championship. Presenting in the blue corner from Ammanford in South Wales, John Davies. And in the red corner from Northolt, London, Andy Till. At the official weigh-in, Davies scaled 10 stone 13.5 pounds, Till 10 stone 12 pounds. Your officials appointed by the WBC are as follows: your supervisor, Mr. Ray Clark; your medical officer, Dr. Michael Abdu; your judges, Mr. Paul Thomas and Mr. John Coyle; your timekeeper, Mr. Ray Bicknell; and your referee for this contest from Leeds, Mr. Mickey Van. This is the main event of the evening.
Well, if looks mean anything, I think we're in for a rough fight. Old Stoneface himself there, Andy Till. The referee, Mickey Van from Leeds, wearing his WBC emblem on his shirt, now handling World Championships around the world. And John Davies of Wales. If you haven't seen him before, he was a very good amateur, won 4 national titles at junior level. But as a pro, he's been coming and going, taking too much time out, and now his manager claims that he can't get contests because people have been running away from him. But I can assure you, Andy Till wouldn't even dream of doing that. His pre-fight quote, which I quite like, is that I feel so fit, I'd be glad I'm not fighting myself. Well, we knew it was going to be a rough one, Jim, but it didn't take long to get the pushing and shoving out of the way, but Mickey Van will get that under control. If it does go the full distance of 12 rounds, there are 2 English judges as well, in Paul Thomas and John Coyle. And the referee will score.
Well, Till looked at in the first few seconds as though he was trying to intimidate Davies as soon as possible. I don't think he's managed it, but he certainly had a good go at it, shoving him and prodding him a couple of good shots. But Davies experienced enough, and he seems confident in his own ability.
Well, Davies only lost 1 fight in 9 years. Admittedly, That has them at a competitive now. He's taking too much time out. But that's a good performance. That was Rocky Feliciello, I think you can pronounce that, another Welshman. And he got a draw with Ian Murray, but he won the return fight, Davis. But I've never seen Andy Till in a bad fight. The famous milkman from Norfolk near London. Oh, it's going to be a hard fight to handle for the referee here, Jim. They're bumping and boring very early on.
Yeah, I think it will settle down, Reg, as it goes. I think they're both trying to gain some sort of psychological advantage in the first round. It's a little bit untidy. They're going at it without thinking too much. But I think we've got 12 rounds still ahead of us. So I think it's going to settle down all right. It's still going to be hard, but it'll probably tidy up a little bit.
Certainly the Welshman's had a side haircut there that might help him to slip a punch or two. They're both sort of stand and trade fighters, you know, almost biting through the gum shield. You can see they want to get stuck in. This is quite a step forward for them to win a vacant WBC National Light Middleweight Championship. They can get into the World Top 10, which qualifies them for a World Championship. Doesn't necessarily mean they'll get one quickly.
Well, they haven't taken too much time to look at each other. They just warmed up straight from the off.
See, the crowd have really risen to this, Jim. There was some concern that maybe they wouldn't. There's two foreigners really up there as far as they're concerned here in Dudley.
But I think anybody appreciates the way both these boys are going at it. As a real good opening round.
So there's the nickname Stoneface, with promoter manager Harry Holland, and on the outside of the ring there's regular trainer Johnny Bloomfield. He's been around some time, this fellow. He was a pro at 23, actually, Andy Till. He's now 28, and he won the vacant Southern Area Championship. Jim, in replay.
Well, Davis makes good use of the hips, the way, see, look at the way the body gets behind these punches, good movement from the waist. Till, I think, is the physically stronger of the two, but I like the way Davis makes use, as I say, the hips and shoulders, the way he whips his punches in. But Till was the man who started to take over in that exchange. He's a little bit stronger, certainly in the first round.
Round 2.
And out for the second round then of this World International Championship. That's for boxers rated from 11 to 30. It's going to be an old-fashioned bruiser. If ever I've seen one, this is.
See, Davis throws lovely punches, Reg. You know, he switches the target, he sways from the waist and the hips. But I think Till is really going to test his resolve, because he just keeps coming back, taking the shots and coming on, and he really is strong and powerful.
Well, I'm glad that we get an opportunity to see him on television. I saw him as an amateur, missed him a bit as a pro, but also had a great deal of ability and couldn't understand why he wasn't making headway. But big break time for him tonight, but he's still got a lot to beat with Andy Till. He even went to South Africa and had to cheat to win out there, John Davis. I was a bit worried when I saw the opponent, Jim Linda somebody, but they tell me it was a fella. See, now, as you were saying, Jim, they've got that little bit of needle out of the system in the opening round. They're standing off a bit now.
Yeah, it's got to settle down. 12 rounds is a long time, so you can't go at a crazy pace. You have to think of those 12 rounds. I feel that maybe the 12-round distance might suit Till slightly better, because he certainly has the crude strength. But it just all depends whether or not Davis allows him to use that strength. I mean, Davis, I think, should be a little bit more mobile than he is at the moment and use his boxing ability. He certainly throws nice, accurate, crisp punches.
So they've both been over the 10 rounds course, Jim, but neither of them have had to go the 12 yet. But I don't know, it's one way or another, I'm not sure they'll need to go there. I'm sure somebody's going to come up with a winner with maybe one punch.
Yeah, well, they've certainly set at a pace. They don't seem to be thinking about 12 rounds, the pace they've set off at.
Andy Till had one of the fights of the year with Wally Swift, who's now champion. He came off the floor twice to win. And that was at York Hall in London. Nagging at the Mickey Van. He's a very sprightly referee and he's calling out what he wants to do without getting involved with him. They don't like to touch the fighters if they can help it. This word of command is best. And as I say, this fella's twice been to South Africa. 2 good wins he's had out there. That's not easy. And there's the rundown of this record. It's taken him quite a while to get actually. He was a pro in 1982. 6 fights, and then he retired for a while and did it again later after a few comeback. He only lost in 9 years, as I said. And a draw against Ian Murray he's had. Jim, I guess where you see some sharp stuff coming in from Davies here, coming up the middle with that left hook. That's a good punch, that, isn't it? Yeah,
he throws good punches. He finds the target well. You know, he seems to be having more natural talent probably than Till. But Till knows what he's good at, and back he comes with it.
Seconds out. Round 3.
Third round then of the scheduled 12. 11 stone division. And Andy Till was 10-12. And John Davies 10-13 and a half. I suspect both of them brought a fair amount of support here, Jim. The Pat Promotions got a very good house indeed, and he deserves it. Pat has been trying hard to make his way in the promoting game, and he's certainly successful and great little fighter. But it seems to be the locals are enjoying the fight. You know, well, they don't care who wins really. If they see a good fight, they're cheering both of them. Yeah, well,
that's the sign of good fight fans, Reg. They just enjoy good, exciting boxing, and that's what this is. I'm impressed with Davies' technique, but Till is now trying to close the ring down on him, not giving so much space, and they're raising the pace a little bit, which is probably the right tactics for Till. He doesn't want to give this fellow too much room.
Some sort of pace they're setting themselves early on in the contest.
Yeah, well, you would expect this pace maybe from flyweights and bantamweights, but usually when you get up to this weight, then things slow down a little bit, but certainly not in this one.
Well, you can always guarantee a hard one when Andy Till's around. I doubt if he's ever been in a dull one in his career. Yeah, I mean, he's the sort of fighter who keeps getting off the floor to win. That's what's so exciting in its way about Till. He could do without it being that exciting. Only blot on the record. He got elbowed. He got disqualified for elbowing against Hensley Bingham in London. And thrown out immediately by referee Cole. But it doesn't look as though he wants to know about that, because he really regretted it, obviously, afterwards.
I think this is going to be hard all the way through, Reg. We expected a hard one, it's living up to it. Davies was a little bit dangerous with his head then.
Yeah, you could hear referee Van, he said, watch the head. Did you hear that as he moved away? into the 4th round, and the crowd actually cheering. Do you notice that, Jim? Between rounds they were chanting. It's unusual, that. He's getting himself a bit composed, the Welsh lad, isn't he?
Yeah, I sometimes get the impression that Davies could punch harder than he's shown us so far. You know, he seems to be placing the punches, but not really putting the venom into them. I mean, I don't know if this is his normal way of boxing, but Till is now raising the pace. He's been finding it difficult to pin Davies down, so now he's raising the pace a little bit. But with some of Davies's punches, he just slips the lead and places a punch on target. I get the impression that he could put more venom in the punch if he wanted.
A little spell there, Till, trying to busy away with his punches at the body there, but he wasn't really getting through. He tucked his elbows in well, Davies.
See, if you look at the way Davies is punching, it's as though he's just prodding out 3 or 4 little light shots, looking for an opening to bang over a solid shot, but the solid shot doesn't come. You know, he just, I don't know what he has in mind if he's pacing for the 12 rounds. You know, these are just little arm punches, like sparring type punches. I get the impression he could punch a lot harder than this.
Maybe it's those long spells of inactivity, Jim, although obviously he's worked hard in the gymnasium, but it's not the same as the real thing.
No, in the first round I was impressed the way he used his hips and shoulders to get some leverage into the punches, but now it just seems to be placing them. I mean, maybe he's expecting, as we are, a long hard one tonight.
So a minute to go in the 4th.
So, I mean, Till doesn't mess about. He gets the power into the shots. Good strong, good power in his arms, Till has, and he really thumps the punches home.
Yeah, he's got a natural strength, but I tell you what, Davies, I mean, has soaked those up, hasn't he?
This really is a hard battle, Reg. Neither boy prepared to give an inch here.
You wouldn't get a better atmosphere anywhere in the country than this gym, would you? I mean, it's really buzzing, to say the least, isn't it?
We're enjoying that. That was a good shot from Davies, but he comes right onto a right hand. But it really has revved up now, Reg. The best round so far. All rounds have been good, but this one has really hotted up.
Came a little bit of a jeer there for shoving Davies away, didn't he, Till? You know, get out of my way, I want to get some water and get myself ready for the next round. Jim?
So a couple of the punches from Davies, it's as though he was just placing them, looking for a spot for the big one. But I mean, he backed Till against the ropes for quite sort of long periods during that round, so he's obviously punching hard enough. But that really was a hard round, that one. So I wonder who'll be the man to try to take charge in the next round. So look at the action here, good, stiff, solid punches.
Seconds out, round 6.
Out for round 6 of this, well, almost non-stop, really. The punching has been flying in this 11-stone championship.
Davies has a good variety of punches. He throws them from all angles. He started the round there with a nice left hook, nice right hand. But he's not really moving in to get the full power into the punches.
They're very seasoned fighters anyway. You know, Till's now 28, Davies is 27. Having to keep very nimble here, the referee, and sort of fight that, you know, a referee has to do in, say, bantams and feathers, but he's having to be on his toes all the way around here.
Yeah, well, thankfully he hasn't had to be involved too often. It's rough and hard all the way through, but there's been no butting or elbowing or anything else. It's been pretty sporting so far.
He's dancing around like one of those sumo wrestling referees, isn't he, that shout all the time. I think it's going to be the bit of survival of the fittest, and hopefully the man with the better skill will win it one way or other, stoppage or points.
See, I think Davies is a little bit more skillful of the two, better punch variety, but Till just doesn't stop keeping the punches pumping out. Really not an easy one to score, Reg.
No, it isn't. But at least the referee scores as well as the judges, which is a bit unusual. They don't do it in major full world championships, it's only in the international versions. See, Davies is always willing to fight back after Till's had his little spell of punching.
There's a nice little punch from Till. Left hook just caught Davies full in the face, but didn't trouble him.
Well, Britain's had quite a few of these WBC international winners now. Robert Dickey, Chris Eubank, of course, Gary Jacobs, Steve Bowen, Kit Milo. Looks as though right at the end of that round there was a bit of head work, and Till's got a cut around the right eye, yes. And Harry Holland darted through the ropes there to get that adrenaline pad on it right away. Needs every second of the 60 seconds. And I imagine the referee who's picking up the scorecards from the judges will just check that before the next bell. And the Boxing Board of Control have their inspector in the corner to make sure nothing other than the regulation coagulates are used. It doesn't look a very deep cut in boxing terms. Jim?
Well, it was a little clash of heads that caused it, and Till actually complained about it as it happened. I don't know if we'll see it here. But there was a little clash in the middle, just towards the end of the round, and Till actually complained to Davies about it, and that's where the cut was caused. Accidental, I may add.
Out for the 7th. Yeah, the referee didn't warn anybody or look like it there, so meaning Davies. I mean, he can't cut himself with his own head, Till, but sometimes he can contribute to it. You know, Jim, we're always getting the old-timers saying, oh, they don't have the fights like they did in the old days. But these were the fights they did have in the old days, and they're still doing it. So it's very exaggerated, that, actually.
Yeah, that's exactly the case. But I see Till's eye beginning to seep blood again.
Oh, that would be a pity, really, wouldn't it, if he got stopped with cuts.
See, Till's been the aggressor all the way through, and it's maybe disguised a lot of the good work that Davies has been doing. He's done a lot of good work on his back foot. Good variety of punch. There's another lovely right-hand shot from Davies. Davies really does throw the more cultured punch. He's the more naturally talented of the two. But every round's so close because Till just doesn't stop pumping out these arm punches.
Got a good chin and certainly a good heart, Andy Till. And I suppose that cut's bothering him too much, and he's probably a little bit frustrated about it, though. Thinking, you know, I've got a long way to go yet, and the last thing I want to happen is to be stopped while we're both still on our feet, and it's a sort of, well, not entirely nip and tuck, but in fact, I've now got Davies ahead for the second half of the fight.
Yeah, well, Davies all the way through been a little bit more cultured. His variety of punches have been better. And now Till is becoming a little bit over-anxious, a little bit frustrated, obviously worried about the cut, and he's made a few mistakes in this round that he's been punished for.
Yeah, he keeps the head a bit static. Well, as I said, he was doing a little bit of ducking and weaving, and he needs to do that. Rolling in with the punches a bit till he walks in head still. Started hard, and it's getting harder and harder, Jim, as this fight goes on. And we're coming up to the end of the 7th. So they've really got to work well this seconds, and managers. You can win a losing fight in the corner very often. You get skilled men that can patch them up. And referee, in fact, just had a glance there as we watch this replay.
Another little smack of heads there on the same side for Till. Actually, I wonder if that was from the previous round. I think that's actually the previous round that caused the cut, Reg, because that looked very much like the clash that caused it.
10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 8.
Round 8. And this World Championships, well, probably take a lot of sorting out still. Well, I think maybe John Davies is ahead. Jim, do you agree or not?
Yeah, I would say so. The better punch variety, and he's just kept pumping the punches out. I feel he hasn't been using the full power that he possesses, but that's entirely up to him. Maybe he's decided he's going to need some strength in the last third of this fight, and I don't disagree with that. But Till has kept it close all the way through, and it's not been an easy one to score. I'm just leaning towards Davies slightly, but around here or there could swing it back in Till's favour. Till seems to be starting this round by backing off and trying to box. I don't think that's a good idea. I think he has to be going forward and using his brute strength.
Looks as though the seconds have done a fair job on Till's cut there, Jim. I mean, it's obviously not going to get better, but it's not worsened very much.
Yeah, well, it's bled in the couple of rounds since that happened, but it hasn't worsened, thankfully, and it hasn't troubled him. The blood's not moving into the eye. And I think once you've been cut for a couple of rounds, that's when you tend to forget about it and just go on with the job. It's the round that you get cut is the problem. That's when sometimes you try to do something drastic and run onto a punch. After a couple of rounds, you're used to it, go on with the job, and that's what's happened.
And as you've often said, he's the only fellow in the hall that doesn't know the severity of it anyway.
So a lot of Davies' punching, it just seems to be putting them on the target.
Almost like gymnasium stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not a snap. I mean, that was a nice little left uppercut, that one. He got a bit of leverage into that. But always, all the way through, I've had the feeling he could just turn that shoulder and get some real power into these punches. Maybe he's saving it, I don't know.
I think his first appearance on the Fight Night will surprise quite a few viewers, Jim. He's, a lot more talented. No wonder there's one or two managers have been ducking him lately. I was surprised to hear that. I used to say, what for? And now I found out. Yes, he looks like he absorbs a good punch, Davies, too, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, Till's caught him a couple of times flush on the chin and it hasn't budged him. He just seems to settle into this one pace, doesn't he? He doesn't raise and drop, he just settles into that one pace and punches away at it.
Second out, round 10.
And what a slog, eh? The 10th round of the scheduled 12. Remind you, the World Boxing Council International version, light middleweights at 11 stone. Andy Till in the yellow trunk from Norfolk, and John Davies from Manfield in Wales.
Nice body shot there, yep. Good shot, 2 steps back.
And by the 10th and whatnot, I've got Davies ahead, but not by much. Such a good old campaign, though, stone-faced Till, isn't he? Even in the closing rounds, you never know what can occur with him, as they say in London.
Well, I thought the 12-round distance would possibly suit Till better because of his strength, his superior strength. But it hasn't turned out that way with the 10th, and Davies still seems to have plenty left.
He's got a nice loose style, Jim. I know it looks lethargic on occasions, but I think that looseness doesn't tire him, does he? He's not tense at all.
And the fact that he has been winding up big powerful punches all the way through, he's probably been saving energy. It's maybe all part of his tactics beforehand, because he realised it was going to be a long, hard battle and he was going to need some strength in the last couple of rounds. But he seems to be able to lift the pace up now.
And it seems incredible with his ability that his last appearance in Britain, in fact, was of April of last year. And he stopped Kevin Mortimer in 2 rounds to win the Welsh Welterweight Championship. This is the division below this one. Little bit of tiredness setting in, as you would expect, you know.
There must not so many clean punches getting through now. There's a lot of cupping and drilling.
Lots of here we go chance. There it is, the countdown clock for the 10th. So he's just laying on a bit there too, and that's a sign of tiredness, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're both entitled to be feeling tired. They've never stopped.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they must be fit.
But Davies still the one pushing him back now. That the fight has changed a little bit in the last couple of rounds.
Had a good punch to finish that round, Andy Till, anyway. So referee does his scoring in that corner, then he collects the other 2 cards from John Coyle and Paul Thomas. So they've managed to keep that cut, well, under control anyway. Referee can, in fact, call for the doctor's opinion if he needs to, but he hasn't had to. And again in replay.
Well, typical of the action all the way through, Reg, hard and sometimes crude, but plenty of heart and courage in there. But Davies in the last couple of rounds has been pushing Till back a little bit more than he was managing earlier.
So the quick hard rub down there.
Round 11.
Harry Holland, and the whack on the back that years ago Angelo Dundee did to Willie Pastrano, who got off the stool and stopped Terry Downs for the championship. So 11th round. Interested to see here, Jim, whether the 3 English referees actually, they are referees, 2 acting as judges, They're going to disagree at all. They won't like that, you know. They hate doing that. You start disagreeing with each other. It's so rare.
But this is the kind of fight it could happen,
Yeah.
Reg, because no one has really dominated any part of it. Every round has been so close. I mean, one official could score like 4 rounds even, the other 4 to give it to the same man, which would give a lopsided score, which wouldn't reflect how close the rounds were.
Yeah, exactly.
Every round's been close. I mean, we've never heard the bell to finish a round to say, well, that was a real good round for so-and-so. We've never been able to say that. Every round has been the same, nip and tuck and just so hard.
Well, it's the worn-out line, Jim, but what a pity we might be a loser. And said, not necessarily, it could be a draw, of course, but it's unlikely.
It's unlikely it would be a draw, Reg.
I think I've still got Davies ahead.
Yeah, well, Till has never really taken over. Since we had him behind in points, unofficially I might add, earlier on. Till has never really taken over in the contest. Hard rounds, a couple of rounds he probably nicked, another couple of rounds that Davies has nicked. But I felt that Till really had to take over and win a couple of big rounds. That didn't happen, so I still have Davies just slightly in front. The only question I would ask are the officials impressed that a lot of Davies's punches have just really been arm punches, not a great deal of snap or power in them. But personally, I think that they've been good enough to land punches. I feel he could be punching harder, but they're certainly good enough punches he's been throwing, in my opinion.
You remember the scorecards are already in the hands of the supervisor, Ray Clark, the former secretary of the Boxing Board of Control, who represents the WBC here tonight. So they've done well once again in the corner to keep that cut under control, to get him out, staunch the blood there for the final round here, Andy Till. So the final gargle, they don't swallow any of that water, by the way. And the gentleman on the outside there, well, he's also stone-faced as well as the boxer. That's the border control official who's making sure nothing untoward is going on in the corner. So as Harry saying, well, throw punches, and if Till can do it like Harry Schoening, who knows whether the last round could in fact turn it around. And then same going in the other corner.
Second out for the 12th.
A little bit quieter there, not so many punches, but a few slaps. So the 12th round, and the crowd rising to that, and so they should. Really applauding it. Good sporting crowd this, and obviously good team of supporters for both fighters, and the local neutrals have really given it some great encouragement. So it's a good night for the promoter. Hard fight indeed for both fighters here. Well refereed, sporting in its way, rough and tough, but nobody's cried. They'll keep us hanging there for this verdict when Ray Clark and the rest of them have to just make sure that the scores tally properly. Still finishing strong, Andy Till, as always, and this is the first time either of them been in the 12th round, remember?
Well, the 12th round is when you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so you can just pull out every ounce of energy you have. You don't have to conserve anymore. So you usually expect the first couple of minutes of the 12th round to be a good pace. Then the tiredness catches up with them again. That's what's happening here. A real good pace, giving everything they have left.
See, these are the times when there's a debate about bringing them back from 15 to 12. I now agree with that. Can you imagine if this had to go 15?
Well, Reg, I mean, we did 15 rounders for years. I never complained about them. I think you use as much petrol as you've got. If it's a 12 rounder or a 15 rounder, you just pace it differently. But,
yes, exactly. I agree with that, of course. And then you were a bit crafty. You got out of the way a bit.
But the 12th round, again, the same as the 11 previous rounds. Punch for punch.
It's finishing exactly as it started.
Till probably has a slight edge in the last round here. Maybe he feels he needs it, I don't know. Both corners are really calling their men on, so they both know it's close. Nobody has sent their man out to coast because it really has been close. And back comes Davies.
What a great finish this is.
Well, Reg, I say it's very close. I would give it to Davies for his punch variety and his good defensive boxing at times. But Till has never given a second's peace. He keeps pumping the punches out, very close. So I don't think anybody will be upset if it goes the other way.
So there it is now. There's been no knockdowns. And, well, it's 100 to 1 on there won't be in this. Well, it can't be on now, the 10 seconds, because the bell would interrupt the count anyway. And a great battle, absolutely. My heart goes out to both of them here. And, well, a draw wouldn't be out of the question, but let's hope it isn't, because we want to see a new champion. And it's good to see both managers actually shaking hands and both applauding. There it is, the exchange of hands by managers, saying, well, what a great fight there. They've been in the ring themselves, those two, by the way. So now this is tension time now. He looks a bit pleased with himself, Di Roberts. Well, he landed 3 punches without reply on his boxer. Well, I don't know. There's some indication around the ringside this could be another split verdict. Can you imagine that now? This is going to be a great disappointment.
Gentlemen, please. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, can we have a great round of applause for both fighters through third contest?
Quite right. Cracking the paint on the roof here at Dudley Town Hall. What a lovely spirit to see that, isn't it? A couple of old warriors there.
We have a split decision from the judges.
A split.
Referee Mickey Van scored the contest 115, 114, Till. Judge John Coyle scored the contest
1 round to Till.
116, 112, Davies.
Bit bigger for
Judge
Davies.
Paul Thomas scored the contest 116, 112. The new WBC International Middleweight Champion, Andy Till.
So Andy Till gets it. Well, Jim Watt and I went the other way, and he's won it quite convincingly.
For John Davies.
Jim, it isn't often we get it that wrong, really, is it? I'm not saying it was a bad verdict. How dare we say that with good referee and judges like that?
There's just so many close rounds, one way or the other. Mickey Van agreed with us, the other two disagreed. No, sorry, what one official went with us, the other two didn't. You couldn't argue the edge. Every single round was close, and let's not take anything away from Andy Till. Both boys deserve to be champions.
Yeah, John Cole made it 116, 112 to Davis, actually. It's quite a split verdict, that, and the three officials from Britain won't be too pleased that they disagree with each other, but nonetheless it shouldn't dampen this fellow's victory, because he's fought hard all of his career.
Andy, a tremendous fight. Did you wonder whether you'd got the verdict there?
I thought I just nicked it, like, you know, he's a very strong boy. I thought I had a little bit more power and strength.
It was a terrific fight, wasn't it, in terms of hardness?
Yeah, very, very good.
Were you surprised at how tough he was?
I was, yeah. Him coming up from welterweight, like to light middle, I thought he'd be a little bit weaker than he was, but he was very strong.
That clash of heads in the 6th round, how much did that concern you?
Oh, it cut me eye, didn't it? It's bad enough.
Did that affect you for a while?
No.
So what happens to you now, Andy? You've waited a long, long time for this opportunity. It puts you into a world title contention place.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get a world title shot. First of all, I'd like a rematch with Wally Swift to get on that British long tail belt.
Are you good enough to go for a world title, do you think?
I'm strong enough.
You're certainly strong enough. Are you good enough?
I'm strong enough and good enough. That's what my manager told me.
Well, he's certainly strong enough. Whether he's good enough or not, maybe one day we'll find out. It was such a tight finish, though. I have to tell you that the referee, Mickey Van, had the crucial vote, as it proved, and he had it level going into the last round. Well, let's hope we have a repeat of that sort of fight when we come back next Tuesday. Newcastle's John Davison stepping down a weight to Super Bantam to challenge the WBC International Champion, and he's Sakdar Sorpak from Thailand. Davison certainly trying to reproduce the sort of form that won him the international featherweight title in front of his hometown fans.
I think the Thailander should be creating a little bit of space between him and Davison to get some leverage for his punches. It's up to Davies not to allow that to happen, obviously. Oh, good shot.
Oh, a right hand there, right on the chin. There was a slight delay, and it doesn't look as though he's going to make it. And what a win this will be.
So next Tuesday here on Fight Night, then, John Davison against the WBC International Super Bantamweight champion. That's Thailand's Sakdar Sorpak. So a really hard, enthralling fight here then on neutral ground in Dudley this evening. The Englishman Andy Till just tipping the balance to win the vacant WBC International Light Middleweight Championship against the Welshman John Davies. It's been a fight to remember in this series, though. From Dudley, good night.